Howdy there, folks! How are y'all doing? My name is Rees, and welcome back to another installment of our Tekkit 2 Let's Play adventure, where today I wanted to start off by addressing a little bit of a situation I've been having and complaining about over the last few videos, and kind of just see if any of you have any ideas of how to deal with it. So, you all know that the gym leggings, the gravity greaves, as they used to be known, have been giving me a little bit of grief. So the way that they work is, while wearing them, if you are flying, and just to clarify, I double-clicked space. I'm not touching the keyboard right now. This is creative flight, same as vanilla. So space to go up, shift to go down. The issue is, when you hold down shift, you descend rapidly. So if you need to shift-click on a object while floating in the sky, the way I would normally accomplish that is by holding down space and shift at the same time. But that doesn't work. And just to reiterate, I am in creative flight. I'm not holding down the space button, which kind of gives you this hovering, and then hitting the space shift. No, that's not how that works. Now, this has not always been the case. In fact, if we go ahead and pause this and kind of get it out of the way, I have another instance of Minecraft running right now. This is version 1.2.1, so the last version. And as you can see, I've got the gym leggings on. I can double-click to fly, and then if I hold down shift, I descend normally. It's working normally. And then if I hold these two at the same time, I'm hovering in place. So if I needed to place an object, say an unrouted transport pipe, because that's what I happen to have in my inventory, and I needed to place it on something that right-clicking on would otherwise open an inventory, I can do that just fine in version 1.2.1. What I cannot do, however, is the same thing in version 1. Hold on, where'd it go? Get back up here, you. In version 1.2.2, even when creative flying, if I hold down shift, I descend. I descend rapidly. So this is rapid descent, right? And holding down space has no effect on it. I can still technically right-click things onto things with an inventory or with an interface. So, for example, if we grabbed, let's say, well, an unrouted transport pipe, why not? Let's be consistent. I can still technically click it on there. I just have to be really quick about it, because if I keep holding it... What? Wait a minute, what? Hold on, what was that? Oh, where? For a moment, it wasn't doing it. Just for that one brief moment. So again, creative flight, shift... I can't figure it out. Alright, I've looked through all the different options, so we all know that, of course, you can hit... by default, it's configured to B, but that wasn't working, so I changed it to number pad 7, and that enables and disables step assist. Shift and B, or in this case, number pad 7, enables and disables night vision. That doesn't help me. V will enable and disable the armor offensive capabilities, and that doesn't help me, and Shift V doesn't help me either. Shift and G does nothing. Shift and B, because I changed it, it doesn't do anything. Is there a way that I can't find to disable the rapid descent? Because it was working one version of the game ago. In literally 1.2.1, it was fine, and in 1.2.2, it's unusable. I have to take the gym leggings off to get anything done. I've tried looking into how to disable them. I've done Google searches. I've got one open right now. Disable gym leggings. Nothing. I haven't tried, I guess, looking to disable Project E armor. Any help? Disable gym armor. I suppose I could try gravity greaves. Yeah, see, I've just read through a number of additional pages, and none of them have advice for how to disable the rapid descent on the gravity greaves, which has left me to conclude that it must have been an intentional decision to have that be on, right? Because if it wasn't on before, why change it? I don't want it to be on. I want to be able to hold myself in place. I mean, it still works if I take off the gym leggings. I can still fly just fine because I've got the hurricane boots on. I ascend and descend normally, and if I hold the two together, I hover in place here. So, I mean, obviously I can hover in place without touching anything because it's creative flight, but you know what I mean. If I hold the two together, I can, like, hover in place and set an item down, is what I mean to say. Can't do that with the gravity greaves on. For whatever reason, again, hovering in place, right? Hold down shift, we descend. Hold down shift and space. Oop. It just doesn't work! So, any advice on how to fix that situation would be greatly appreciated. But, you know, we spent a lot of time up here on this floor, and I'm kind of tired of being up here on this floor, and I think the next thing we're going to do is, today we're actually going to move all of these things upstairs. Now, that's going to necessitate that I build some more of the ender chests, as well as, at a minimum, we're going to need a stack of translocators. Because I think in total we have, how many of those left over? We have one. We have one item translocator, and then I don't even see a single ender chest left in here, which is a tragedy. I guess I used all of those as well. So I'll get to crafting and I'll get to moving, and we'll see how we're grooving. Yeah. Okay, well I just spent a couple of minutes getting everything I would need into the inventory here, and I'm going to dump it all. Oh shoot, I can't fit it all up there. Okay, well do I have enough to... I think I need, for the translocators, we don't need the blaze rods, right? We just need the pistons and possibly the redstone, maybe? So that's going to be these, and that should be enough to make 2 stacks of them. Yeah, good, okay. And then we want to create the ender chests. That'll be enough to make... It was supposed to be enough to make a stack. What did we run out of? Hello? Oh, right, well... Wait a minute. No, that can't be right. What? Is it wool? Oh, the wool didn't get put up there. Okay. Stack of those. 2 stacks of these. Go ahead and get rid of these items. They shouldn't be up there to begin with. Trying to keep things tidy this time around, because my inventory tends to get quite messy. So much so that I'm going to go ahead and dump 64 of these into here, along with that one. There we go. Keep them out of the way. And... there is one thing I was curious about, and there's one thing that I wanted to test, okay? We've tried to use the translocators with the black hole storage unit, and it just doesn't seem to like it. But we've only tried to kind of hop out of one object into it before, right? So we kind of assume that because the energy condensers work with things like ender chests, it's probably not the energy condensers. It probably is just the black hole storage unit. But maybe the black hole storage unit will only work out of a certain side, or with certain other types of inventory. I'm willing to test, you know, we've not tried to hop items into the bottom of them, because that seems like it's ridiculous and can't possibly be what we need to do, but at this point I'm willing to try anything. But, yep, see, there we go. If anyone has the tip, that would be appreciated, okay? So, translocators... You're going to be on the receiving end, and if I throw some translocators in there... It worked with literally one of them. And it's only working with one of them. It's like it only realizes it can do one at a time. That's so very strange. I think what we are dealing with here, though, is definitely a weird black hole issue. It seems to have some kind of logic associated with it that the translocator mod maybe can't quite comprehend or get on board with. Okay, so it's got 6 of these in there. We're going to throw those back in here and re-enable this. So it sends 1. I don't know if we noticed that before. I don't know if we noticed that it would send at least 1 object before. I thought it just didn't work at all. So that's from a regular old vanilla chest. You can't get more compatible than that. To the black hole unit. And it sends 1 item. What if I lock that item? Can it not understand how the inventory of this thing works? What if we set it up with, let's say, the glowstone, which is supposed to send a stack at a time, or, well, I should say it'll send up to a stack at a time. Well, at that point, it'll send up to a stack, but then it won't send any more. It's like it will only do 1 go. Well, you know what? It was definitely worth the experiment. I'm glad we did it. Now we know that, for whatever reason, the black hole storage unit just doesn't like translocators. We're not going to try with that anymore. We're going to kind of give up on that. By the way, how is this going? I did realize that we're going to have to transfer all of these other ones up here and slowly empty them out so we can kind of merge them. So I think down here we still have gold, silver, And tin, copper, what are you? You are a slowly emptying bronze dust. Well, that has an EMC value, so I'm going to go ahead and say, well, we'll cut that out right now, and we can manually convert all of that into... Oh, you know what we could do, and what would be a lot faster and save us a lot of time, is if we drained all of these into an energy condenser and had them turned into, like... Oh, I have an idea. Okay, well... You know what? We should probably set these up here to do gold and silver and tin and bronze real quick. Every time I feel like I'm getting, like, good at this, like I've got the cadence and the rhythm down, I inevitably make some sort of embarrassing mistake, like I put the thing on the wrong side or something like that. But there we go, with the tin inserted and that activated, we now have all of the necessary... Hold on, let me get rid of this. Don't need to carry that around with me. We should now have all of the necessary ingots going down here into the triple orange chest and available to the network, meaning I can now safely and securely begin the process of disabling this here node and recycling all the cores on it. This is actually going to break a lot of things, though. Gosh darn it, I am completely stuck here. What am I actually trapped on? I have no idea what was happening there. It's like there's something invisible right here. When I get close to it, look what happens. What is it? What am I, I'm so confused. There's some sort of force field. I'm just gonna disable all of these. No, it's like right here. Hello? Hello, invisible force field? What is this? What is this? Look at this. Look at what's happening here. What the heck? Why is this part of the factory cursed? How utterly strange. Do you think it's maybe like a painting like that hasn't like actually broken free? Like it popped off, but somehow mechanically it's still kind of technically there? Or some nonsense? I don't know. I'm putting glass back in there. Did you see that little... Hold on, what was that? What was that? Wait, watch when I put this down. You ready? What was that little puff of... There's like an invisible cable here or something. Because watch when I place this down. Look, you see the sparkle? Why is it sparkling? Why is it sparkling? There's like an oh. No, relog. Aha! The relog reveals all. There we go. Situation dealt with. Oh gosh, everything's like grinding to a halt down here for no apparent reason. Oh no, that's normal. Yeah, I just relogged in. That happens literally every time for some reason. The music right now? That's pretty heavy stuff, man. It's like the end of an era and the game knows it. You know, we're moving everything off of that wall. It's been there for tens, if not dozens of episodes. And the game is like, ooh, I've got to mourn this. This is a tragedy. But it's not a tragedy. I know a lot of people don't like change. I'm one of them. But change is a natural part of life, and fighting it doesn't help you in any way. It's better to embrace it. And if it's good change, learn to love it. And if it's bad change, you know what? Maybe things had to change, and you can change the change. Not all good change is good, and some people think that change is good for the sake of change, and those people are wrong. But, you know, things that can't be fought ought not be fought. And things that can be beneficial ought to be embraced, and things that aren't great can be rallied against, you know? Like what we're doing here. We're rallying against the antiquated design. I don't know. What I am doing right now is I'm taking all of these and I'm doing a little bit of a transfer to kind of empty them out and keep it all stored in a single unit here. Ho ho ho! It would be faster to go from this one to this one. But whatever, we're leaving it. We'll let it do its thing. In the meantime, I guess right here we'll set up oh, you know what? No, we already have an energy condenser in use. So we'll go set it up here, because we've still got this one here, and it's full of bronze dust, which all that's good for, you know, now that we've got a different type of bronze in use, all that's good for is being returned back into the energy from whence it came. So I'm going to plop it, wait, which one was it? It's this one. Plop it up there. That'll empty it out into here and accelerate the creation of some diamond blocks, which will accelerate the filling of my transmutation table. We lost a lot of EMC when we had the great accidental mod pack deletion of 2023. So we've got to get that restored. Okay, so with all that dealt with, yeah, there's a mess on the floor. I see that. Trust me, I see it. I'll deal with it. But with that sort of dealt with, we can now begin focusing on moving everything else. Some of you may remember when we did this over here the other day, so we could get rid of all the iron in here and just turn it into diamonds and pull it all out real quick. Well, enough time passed that I'd forgotten about it. And now it's just full of diamonds, and I don't feel like taking all those out, so now we're moving on to diamond blocks. And this time I'll remember to get them. Oh my gosh! More iron! Great, good, beautiful. I'm trying to get it to use this thing exclusively over here. And it's not going to, so long as it has that massive stack of iron available to it. It does look like this is working, though. Look at how beautiful that is. I'm wondering if it's extracting them quick enough, though, because it did that, and then there's a delay, and then there goes another round. And the only way I know to speed that up is to add another... Ooh, actually, you know what? We probably could. I think I just found one back here. Yeah, right here. Logistics Chassis MK3. We could go ahead and... This might be entirely useless, right? Like, there might be absolutely no point in this whatsoever. But if we add the Logistics Chassis MK3... and we have, let's say, 3 quicksort modules. 1, 2, 3. Does that make it any quicker at the export? It's only going to export when items are needed, but I just want to make sure that it can export quickly enough to meet those needs. And we know in the past that 1 was not enough, sometimes 2 was necessary, 3 ought to be even better, right? So is this, see, this isn't staying filled up, and it should be, because we should have plenty of refined iron to draw from. We're making it very, very quickly. And it's almost empty. This one's full. See, these are all full. These 2 at the end, though, not so much. This one's now completely empty. So when is it going to get some? Is it going to? There it goes. Why isn't it filling up, though? I guess because it can only extract so much at a time. And I guess it extracts some to go here, and some to go here, and some to go here. I don't know. We'll see if adding that 3rd one makes it, like, catch up any quicker. It can also only extract however much is in here. And because we only have, like, 63 at any given time, you can actually see them kind of jump down a little bit. We could double these up. We could have inside of here, like, 2 stacks of each. We wouldn't be able to do that with all of the different types of ingots. I would love to set it to 64, but the game won't allow that. The game will not allow me to set it to 64 for whatever reason. Alright, well, I guess it's time to move on now to this floor, I suppose? I think we decided we would do 3 dedicated to ingots, as unnecessary as that'll probably end up being, which means that this floor is where we're going to need to start building everything for that wall. And what I thought about doing is, because this floor is the triple orange floor. You know how some floors have, like, lights around them? Well, maybe we set this up with orange lights, and that's what dictates, like, this is the triple orange. Do I have orange lights? I feel like I've made orange lights before. I just don't have them on me. Yeah, we got a few. Not really enough, but we have a few. So we'll go back to here, and we'll kind of just throw these, not all 29 of them down, but we'll throw down a few of them, and kind of see how we feel about having a floor be lit up around the sides with lights, because it might end up just not liking the look of it right now, but it would certainly add some needed light to this place. Yeah, I think I like that. I think I do actually like that. And we're probably not actually going to need these pipes anymore, since we're teleporting everything around with the ender chests. Okay, yeah, this is the orange floor. 17... So just kind of using that as, like, a little microcosm. Yeah, okay, alright, yeah. So if this is going to be the triple orange floor, this will probably end up being, like, a derivative of that. So maybe the orange-white floor, and then, like, orange-black floor, and then we get to a whole new color here. What color are we feeling for this one? I'm thinking light blue. Although, we didn't really have a reason to pick orange. That's just kind of what we ended up using. Do we want to have some kind of logic or like internal logic or reasoning for the colors we pick? If we have a look at the wool, because that's how I keep track of the color options available to us, what says assorted items? I'm gonna go ahead and say light blue. That's what light blue says, assorted items for me. Alrighty, folks, I know that sometimes you get a short episode and it's not quite as satisfying, But the reason for that is not because I'm being lazy, it's because sometimes I start recording and how long has it been? 3 hours pass, and I have 30 minutes of usable material. So most of this recording was just on pause while I worked on all of this. There was not much to say about it during the process, because it's what you've seen. It's me building these nodes. In this case, I did mostly dual-core nodes, because for a lot of these items we didn't need more than that. And then I was like, well, I might as well make a color for each floor, so if this floor down here is going to be all orange, we might as well have, like, lovely orange lights. Sorry, I'm actually at the wrong floor. Orange lights all around it, and then if this floor is orange and black, we'll do orange and black, and then this floor should have been green. This is the floor where we are now generating all of our sort of more natural materials. So we have things like, okay, so this is cool. This is the invisible item frame right here, okay? And then I just put the item in it, and so now I can see at a glance what's inside of there. So invisible item frame. I haven't done it on all of them yet, but I'm going to. But this is where we're generating things like our blocks of wood and our sticky resin. And for some reason, I made the whole floor blue instead of green or brown, which would have made more sense. And I might change it. The issue is, it's going to take a while. I made some lime inverted lamps. I was like, maybe regular green. And then I kind of looked at it, and I was like, man, there's so many lamps. And I got to change the colors. I'll do it at some point. At some point, I will do it. Just not right now. So up here we have more of a gray color, which might have made more sense, actually. Maybe the colors don't need to matter, because gray would have made sense, because it's like all the mining materials, right? Which is what this floor is. So this floor, you'll notice I have also done the invisible frames. I said mining materials, but I did gray because that's kind of like a drab factory color, and this is where we're producing things that are like completed items. So furnace, glass, these aren't materials, these are processed items, and gray kind of felt like a sterile, bland factory floor sort of color. So that's what I went with, although I think that might have worked better for mining, now that I think about it. And then we have orange and black, which, you know, if orange is mining, orange and black is the second version of mining, where we have things like redstone, where we have things like... okay, so this is the chest with all of the items in it. So we've got coal, charcoal, block of coal, charcoal block, coal, charcoal, lapis, redstone. Eventually we'll also have, like, you know, emeralds and other things that you dig out of the earth kind of being generated on this floor. And again, I've not done the invisible item frames here just yet. But this chest, if you're curious, just in case you see it and you're wondering what it's all about, like what is the story here, some of these just won't stack for some reason. These provider modules, even though they are configured differently between one another, or I'm sorry, the same between one another, they're like the exact same, they will not stack, and I don't know why. But that was from ripping up all of the stuff down here, which I have now done. There's still some things sitting around here, like this is still running and extracting sticky resin for whatever reason. I actually did mean to move that. Go ahead and take that now. But it looks like now everything has been disabled, and I can start work on expanding these pillars over here and kind of finishing that up. And I can go ahead and start work on kind of redoing the diamond manufacturing up here, because we can make it a lot faster and more efficient. And, oh wow! Oh geez there, bud. We're doing great on diamonds as it happens. But I did make another change down here. I added a second logistics chassis MK3, also fully loaded, with the item sync modules, just to make sure we're actually extracting items out of here fast enough. That's odd. Why are they at 63? Oh, because it's not pulling out a full stack. It doesn't need a full stack. And then if you like look away for a second, it does automatically fill. Oh no, 63 is normal. Never mind. I don't know what I'm saying. No, that's normal. That's right, because it can't do that. So I apologize, everyone. My brain's a bit frazzled. I've been at this for a while, but we're keeping these stocked a little bit more consistently now. They're more consistently filled up. But that is not going to work now, because we've got to add more of these. So now we need to add the orange and black chest, we need to add the blue chest, and we need to add the dark gray chest, and I should have plenty of these left over. I did have to make another batch, but we should have plenty here. So where are we going to tie these in at? I mean, I guess temporarily, since like nothing's being done right here anymore, we can go ahead and just get rid of this, and that does kind of put it in a nice central location. Or we could just put them up against this back wall out of the way. I kind of like that idea better. So like I said, we need to integrate the all blue. Let's go ahead and grab our dies here. So light blue, we need 3 of those. We need we already got orange, and we don't... Oh, I don't have orange anymore. I must have gotten rid of it. Well, we need ink then, orange, and gray. Dark gray in this case. So the second floor is orange, black, orange. There we go. And then we have... I like how I got specifically 3 blues. There we go. But then I just grabbed a stack of grays. Awesome. So that should be everything that we've removed from being manufactured on these walls ready to go into the system. And we're going to use... If I have enough of them, we'll probably end up using these again. Logistics Chassis MK3s. If you know of a faster way to extract items out of these, other than just using an overabundance of quicksort modules, please let me know. I do only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so not really enough to fill these things up, but I'm also kind of wondering whether or not it would be more beneficial to have multiple sides making contact as opposed to just having multiple of the quicksort modules. So these are some of the quicksort modules. All of this stuff ended up here because I was moving back and forth, and when I finally realized I had an inventory full of nonsense I couldn't get rid of, I just placed the chest down where I was and called it a day. So here we go. We'll top these off. I don't know if that's actually going to make a difference, because I feel like what made a difference over here was having a second entire pipe for export. I feel like that's what actually made the difference. So maybe we should just do that instead. They don't need to be MK3s. I'm going to hook them up as MK3s for... Gosh, no reason. Absolutely no reason. No benefit that I know of. Where's our basic logistics pipe? There we go. Tie that in there. And then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is probably unnecessary and ridiculous, but I just want to make sure that the system works. And the system works. It's pulling out the sticky resin. The sticky resin is being resupplied. That is wonderful. So all of this should kick off and start running again. Yeah, these are filling up the sticky resins. Any minute now, there will be sticky resin in here. All you got to do is be a little bit patient. We'll come back to that one in a minute. You should be getting blocks of coal again. Good. You're not doing anything, the 2 of you, so I can actually clear these 2 banks out. And what else could we possibly be missing? What do you need? You're generating raw carbon from coal dust. Right, so that's this operation back here, which is up and running. And if we come back over here now, this is still empty. All of these are still empty, except for these 2. Why is that? Why is it not? It's something to do with the logistics of how this all works. They are logistics pipes, after all. So for some reason, it's just not dropping them into here. It's dropping them into these 2, though. I wonder why that is. Is it because they keep summoning them and... Oh gosh, I don't know the actual reason. I shouldn't theorize. I have no way of actually knowing. Let's see. It's set up correctly. Maybe that's where having multiple pipes comes in handy. So let's, you know what, stop being silly. Let's just get some regular old Logistics MK1s here. As well as, do we have any more basic pipes? I think we might have had just that one. Well, if that's true, we should have plenty on the walls over here I can go pilfer. Like, one of these is bound to be... Actually, I don't think it would be. Now that I'm remembering how we had this set up, I think it's just as possible. Oh, also, if you break those too quickly, I learned the reason you sometimes get phantom pipes is if you break them too fast. I don't know why, but if you break them too fast, you sometimes end up with a phantom pipe. Look, so you can clear these out to where they're all the same, but they will never stack again. They will just, like, make the decision that, no, this isn't going to happen. And then you're just stuck with multiples of them. So why even bother cleaning them out? Okay, you know what? I don't think anything's coming through here anymore now that this wall is broken, so I think I can probably pilfer this basic pipe and be fine. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to actually break all of these, because I have a theory that actually what we need is more pipes making contact, not necessarily more quicksort modules. And the way we're going to test this is by using just the basic MK1 logistics chassis. Okay. We're going to hook them all up like this. And then we will combine them together with the 2 of these. Oop. There we go. And then we will fill each of them with the 1 single quicksort module. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that is the same number of quicksort modules as having 3 MK3 chassis. But now we've got 9 of these. And it definitely looks like more items are being extracted. Or at least items are being extracted more frequently. So let's go see whether or not that's made a difference over here. Not yet. Not yet. Actually, that's not running at all now. This one is, though. I wonder if the problem is that this one is, like, hogging all of the signal, if that makes sense. It's requesting them, and the requests always just... I don't know. Doesn't make much sense to me, because if we come over here, we'll see that these are definitely staying stocked up, the way I have it configured. Could it have something to do with... Because it's not like we're running out of items. We're not running out of items. But could it be because there's only the 63 resin here at any given time? Does there need to be more than that? What if I take this out? And then I put it back in? Resin just always goes in here. Do you reckon we need to build the supplier module? There's 2 different ones. There's the passive and the active, and I don't know what the difference... I suppose I'll look it up real quick. The supplier logistics pipe can actively request items from the network to keep the specified items in an adjacent inventory stocked. It also serves for routing purposes. We might need one of those. Oh, but first we need to like clean out our inventory a little bit, because it is getting a tad bit messy. There's just such a volume of things that we're dealing with right now. I want to get this working before we carry on and do the tidy up. Because I'm going to tidy everything up and make it look good. But I want to get it all working first. Purple Lemons, you need to stop coming up here. So in order to build this, we'll need the logistics programmer for active supplier module. Have I built one of those? I can't remember what these 4 on the wall are. Hold on. Let's get rid of all these lights, because I don't need this many lights on my person at any given time. And then I don't need the wrench right now, and I don't need these things. And I think I'm safe to put my pants back on for the time being, which is a very strange sentence now that I've said it out loud. I can tuck that away. There we go. Okay, inventory's a little bit more manageable, so let's start taking these down. One of these just went into a hopper. So we've got the pipe program loaded. Okay, so the provider logistics pipe, item sync module, remote ordering logistics pipe, provider module. So no supplier modules at this present moment. Well, now I'm just goofing off here. Wonderful, what fun. Would it actually be called the active? Hold on, that was passive supplier module. Oh, is it not going to be near that one? Okay. Anytime I see A, I pause, because we've got, like, the action speed upgrade. It's not what we're looking for. Oh, I can search! Oh my gosh, this whole time! I had no idea! Okay, so we don't have it yet. What is it called? The supplier. Let's just try that. So we have the supplier logistics pipe, as well as the passive supplier module. We want the active supplier module, so I have to figure out where that's going to end up being. I don't know. Let's just start unlocking some of these. Let's just unlock all of them. Why have we not unlocked all of them? As far as I can tell, there's no reason not to. Especially now that I know there is a search bar we could have been using. How come none of you told me that there's a search bar? I understand it's probably... With our relationship being what it is, I should be the one to know that and tell you, but come on. Half of this series is you folks telling me things I should know that I didn't know. Well, folks, who are you? I did it again. I forgot that I had paused the recording, but I did unlock everything in here, and in the process of doing that, we did get the active supplier module. Now, unfortunately, I was watching a video, one of the few activities that I am allowed to I am human, I'm not an AI. I found the active supplier module. I don't remember what exactly unlocked it, but we got it unlocked, and I used it to create some active supplier modules. I've got 12 of those, and we have plenty of provider modules. So if we kind of have a look inside of there, you'll see that this one is items to provide, and then we have items to keep stocked. So you can kind of figure out how we're going to end up using these. We're going to need more provider modules, though. Unfortunately, we had a lot of them, because you might remember at one point, I installed a ton of them up here. I think it was one for each of these, which is how they all kind of ended up inside of this chest here. And we're going to need at least 3 of them, and I don't know why I only grabbed one additional one. So there we go. We're also going to need our wrench. And then, as I was saying earlier, I forgot to unpause the video. So at one point, I did already come down here, and this was the moment I realized the video was paused. I took down all the extra pipes. We don't need them, because we're configuring this different now. So we don't need the quicksort modules. What we need to do instead is install these provider modules, which again, if we want to, you can specify specifically what items from a chest you want to provide to the network or from any kind of inventory, but we can leave it empty for all, which is exactly what we want to do. So we want to put one of these in each, and it is now ready to provide all of these items to the network. Now we need to come over here, where historically what we've been doing is, if we have a look inside of here, we've had just an item sync and a quicksort module. We're going to get rid of the item sync. That's not what we want to do anymore. Instead, we want to configure here the active supplier module with what we want supplied to here. And in this case, what we want to supply... Oh, you know what? I reckon we can do this. So if we hold down Shift and right-click on that, and then over here we type in sticky resin. This is something we just recently learned. Yeah, you could just drag it in there. Had no idea. I had no idea that was a thing you could do. Request mode, bulk 50, bulk 100, infinite. Partial, full, bulk 50. I don't know what any of these mean. I suppose full would keep it filled. And then if you set it to oh, you know what? If you set it to like bulk 50, I wonder if it only summons 50 of them when there's room for 50 of them. Meaning that's not constantly making requests. It's only requesting it when it needs. If that's what that means, then hot diggity. I think we've just figured something out. So we're going to right click that in there. And what we'd like to see is any minute now. There we go. Well, that was just one. It just supplied one. And I suppose any minute now we'll see another... Okay, that's not going to work. Let's take that back out. Okay, so I think what we want to do is set it to full, and then it'll only request when it's empty, and it will request enough to fill itself up. Is I think how that works. It's kind of hard. I couldn't find an actual wiki article for it, and instead I ended up on a wiki article for... No, that didn't do anything useful. Is this only providing one item at a time? Can I configure this in some way to do more? Excess inventory normal. Switch. Leave first stack, leave last stack, leave first and last stack, leave one item. No, that's fine. Include, exclude. I don't need to make any changes there, I don't think. And that wasn't even the right one to be looking for anyway. So there's only 63 inside of there. I don't think that should matter. Well, heck, I don't know. Should we just change it until it works? What's bulk 100 do? What I would like for it to do is summon an entire stack of items. Heck, put it on infinite. I don't know. Let's see what that does. That's one. Oh! That was 63! I mean... Is this any different than what we already had? I suppose the only way it's going to be any different is if it somehow starts working with these. So... I guess we'll find out. But I'd actually like to configure 3 of them exactly the same. So can I do that if I shift-click here, and I drag this over to here? I suppose, like, I can't, like, set 64 of them, right? Like, is that an option? What if I add 2 of them in here? What does that do? That won't do anything. Alright, set them to infinite. And then hopefully all 3 of these will be configured the same. So 1, 2, 3. That... It looked like it took them from up there instead, didn't it? Oh, right, there's no room. Okay, there we go. So now 1, 2, 3... So each of these should be making requests. We'll see whether or not they actually get supplied with any. See if this works. Oh my gosh, that was a lot moving through there. Did you see that? So each machine got 12, and then got another... Okay, so far, this seems to be working a lot better than what we were doing previously. It looks like a combination of active suppliers and provider modules might be the way to go moving forward. It definitely looks like it's doing a better job of keeping them full. I liked the idea of having it only summon after a certain amount. So if it got down to, say, half, it would summon exactly half. And then that way it wasn't constantly making little requests. But I don't know if that's possible. So what that means now, though, is that I've got to go around and reconfigure all of these to work like that. I'm going to need a whole lot of active supplier modules. Maybe. Although then again, this was technically working for this. So maybe what we can do, you know what, temporarily, for right now, let's grab the, where are they? They should be in here. They should be right in front of me. If they were a monster, they'd come and get me. The MK2s. And what we're going to do, as a temporary measure until I have the time to sort of set this up, is we can have this have both provider modules as well as the basic quicksort modules. And that way, everything will keep running normally as it was. You know, these will have that advantage of having the provider and supplier, and will hopefully stay full, but then everything else will also hopefully continue to get something from the quicksort modules. All of this kind of needs to be redone, and my plan for redoing it is, instead of having everything in like a dedicated amount, doing it like up there with the nodes, right? So each line is going to be dedicated to a single process, and then that way that process can be expanded infinitely. If all the floors above are going to be dedicated to nodes for generating items, then this will be the floor where manufacturing takes place, and it'll expand out into the rest of the large empty factory. But I think that's what we'll end up doing. I think we'll kind of reconfigure all of this, and maybe not everything needs to be infinitely reconfigurable, right? Like, we're not going to ever need more than what we currently have in terms of machine block manufacturing. So I don't... It's hard to say exactly what happens next, you know? So long as we continue to produce these, we're good. But there's definitely going to be a change. Maybe if we can divide the floor down the middle, and I don't think it is even across, because there's like a middle block here. So divide the floor down the middle, and then have certain stations doing certain things. I think that'll be the next move. And remember, all of this is leading to the ultimate end goal of having high voltage solar panels, at which point we can stop this and start building weapons to start wars. Assuming I actually want to give my enemies weapons, because maybe that's a bad idea. Maybe I want to give the villagers weapons and have them invade my enemies. But then what if there's an uprising? Well, we've already proven we can't be defeated inside of our armor, so maybe we don't even need soldiers. Maybe we, as God Kings of the universe, are capable of dominating all life, all on our own. Maybe it's time for the dawning of a new day. I might also throw some new mods in here. I thought about the mod that I found that would do infinite like world gen is not available for 1.12, but I found some cool mods that make the sky look neat. I was thinking about adding some visual mods just to shake things up. We're in our 60s now with this series. We're marching towards 100. We might hit it by the end of the year. Who can say? Might as well freshen things up a bit. Okay, thank you folks for watching. God bless you. I'll see you later. Goodbye.